Alright, so we're checking out the Eachine BF109 in this video. For this model, they've gone back to the 400mm wingspan, which is the same as the P51, the Corsair, and the T28. So should pretty much fly the same as those guys. Obviously, you know, we got the scale details of the BF109. Pretty nice. I think in the second generation here of these newer Eachine models, they are using a little bit better foam, and the quality does seem slightly improved. Breakaway props now, so 3-bladed breakaway prop. Still 1S, of course. Still the same Volantix the V761 protocol, and I'll be using the jumper T-light for this video, since it seems like most of you guys want to see this flying with the multi-protocol module. So let's get this up in the air and see how this does. Alright, so not a lot of wind today. Should fly pretty good. You can see the gyro going. And it looks like I'm in beginner mode. Let's see how this does. Hands off takeoff as usual. Really quiet. This one is not as noisy as the P47. This is actually exceptionally quiet. And yeah, using the jumper, it definitely has more precision. This does seem like it needs a little more airspeed so it doesn't stall out. You can hear how quiet that is. If you put too much rudder aileron together, looks like it will try and stall on you. You gotta maintain your airspeed, but yeah, it's pretty nice. It looks like the CG is okay, and this one looks maybe a little tad tail heavy. And definitely way faster than the P47. Of course, I don't have that wind going to sort of give me that floaty flight characteristic. I'm going up pretty high here. Yeah, this smaller 400mm size is a little harder to see in the air. Now again, a little bit of wind behind me. Yeah, this one does definitely need to keep the airspeed up. But if it does crash, you have the breakaway prop, so it should survive. Yeah, the gyro working pretty well. Trying to bring it by for some closer shots here. Look how low to the ground I am. Wow. They're really low. If you get a little bit of a breeze, it just kind of floats. But today is not a lot of wind. Yeah, you can see that little bit of a stall tendency. You want to try and slow it down there, so you got to keep that airspeed going. Oh, how low to the ground I am there. Oh, man. It is kind of fun flying a super low to the ground like this. It is a challenge, but with a little more precision on this controller, you can definitely do it. I am pretty impressed how quiet this is. Definitely compared to the P47, that was way noisier. Ah, I'm blinded by the sun there. Oh, I was so low to the ground. There it goes. It wants to stall. If I go too slow, it wants to stall out. So I gotta keep flying it fast. So if you guys like slower planes, you probably want some of the other ones I've reviewed. Yeah. Some of that might have to do with the CG, but the gyro, it's possible the gyro, actually I'm gonna land it. Yeah, it's possible since the way I plugged the battery in, you know, it was a little nose up. So the gyro has a tendency to nose up. That could be it too. So let me land it here and start over. Oh, I think the prop popped off. That was a rough landing. And not a big deal. Designed to pop off. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the battery in so it's level instead of like sitting on its wheels. Because when you plug it in, that's when it initializes the gyro. So let's do that. Alright, so I'm going to try this, hold it at level like that, and then plug it in. And then see if that changes the flight characteristics at all. Make sure to make these battery compartments super tight. Let's see if I notice any difference here. So if I fly it slower, is it tending to nose up? I don't know. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe make a few more passes. Have to slow down here. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that makes a difference. So yeah, when you plug it in, wow, that's wind is popping up there. All of a sudden the wind picked up. And when you plug it in, make sure it's level. Yeah, I think it still has I think it's the airframe. You want to keep the airspeed up so they don't stall. It still has that tendency to stall when you slow it down too much. You could see that I was coming straight at me. It was like kind of waffling there because I wasn't going too fast, or I wasn't going fast enough. And with the wind picking up, coming up from behind me, see it's pushing the plane. Yep. Oh, stalled again. So the wind's coming from behind me like this, and it's pushing the plane. And so when you make those sharp turns like that with a lot of aileron and rudder, it's gonna stall out on you like that. But you know, putting the prop back on is not going to be a problem. It's a bit muddy here. Yep, we got a little bit of mud on here. It's been raining like crazy lately. Oh, the wind is starting to get worse all of a sudden. Kind of out of nowhere. So you do get a spare prop in the box in case you do break this. This one seems fine. Just got some dirt on here. Plane totally fine. So these are good for beginners, I think, because you can crash and not be too worried that your plane's going to be wrecked. Just got to get the prop back on here. Kind of wish it would be out a little bit further from the front. It's a little hard to pop on that prop, but they're trying to make it nice and scale, or scale looking. So because it's foam or glued into foam like that, it is kind of flush with the fuselage, and it looks like it's not quite all the way propped on. Oh, my battery door is open. I have to land it again. This one seems to be kind of tricky to land. Oh, trying to pop the prop off again. They designed these battery doors, or the battery compartments are so tight that getting the battery in there with the wire and everything is difficult. And we got some dirt in here. And I see what the problem is. The battery door, the latch, it looks like it's damaged here. It's cracked. I think you'll probably glue it together with some CA, but that's not going to keep the that's not going to keep the battery in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. Yeah, this flies pretty similarly to the other Eachine models, so no surprises there. And I do like the fact that they are including these breakaway props now. So when you crash like you saw here, you shouldn't have any problem getting back up in the air. But yeah, this battery door is a little bit of an issue. Hopefully they'll address that in a future revision. But I like the way it looks. It flies nice. You got to fly this one a little faster than some of the other ones. I think there's another one coming soon, the Spitfire. I think a lot of people are interested in that one, so I will have a video on that one pretty soon, maybe in a couple weeks. Stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.